like to call the meeting to order for the proposed closing of Pearl Buck Elementary School. Mrs. Burns, roll call. Up. Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and
Justice for all. They moved the flag on us. Mrs. Burns, roll call.
Mr. Sullivan,
Present.
Mrs. Hallenbeck,
Present.
Mr. Allen,
Present.
Mrs. Brochus,
Present.
Mrs. Lafferty,
Present.
Mrs. Marshall,
Present.
Mr. Rodriguez, Mr. Sporny, and Mrs. Wallbeiser.
Here.
We have a quorum.
Thank you. At this point, I would like to turn the meeting over to the District Solicitor to conduct a Pearl Buck closing hearing.
Thank you, Mr. Sullivan. I would like to open the hearing at this time and begin by incorporating into the record the background document setting forth compliance with the statutory requirements of the PA School Code of 1949. First exhibit is the explanation of the need for the public hearing. I'll come back to that after I mark all the exhibits. Exhibit B is a copy of the resolution for the Board of School Directors adopted on April 9th, 2024, wherein the board resolved that a public hearing would be held at this location at this time on the question of whether or not to permanently close Pearl S. Buck Elementary School, which is located at 143 Top Road, Levittown, PA 19056, at the end of the calendar year 2024. Exhibit C, the school code requires, and the school district did cause, a notice of this hearing to be published in the Bucks County Courier-Times on April 16, 2024. Again, that'll be incorporated as Exhibit C, along with the proof of publication from the Bucks County Courier-Times. Exhibit D is an affidavit of posting that Jason Bowman of the Neshaminy School District for tonight's hearing posted outside at this board meeting room. Notice of tonight's hearing, the same notice that was published in the Bucks County Courier-Times. Exhibit E is the public hearing booklet dated May 7th, 2024, which is, again, for the proposed closing of Pearl S. Buck Elementary School. I think everyone here has a copy of that booklet. There's also additional booklets outside in the hallway. Exhibit F is the list of speakers for public comment for tonight's hearing. I don't believe there are any speakers signed up, but that won't prevent anyone from speaking when the time's right for public comment. Exhibit G is a copy of the verbatim statement for Jason Bowman that he'll be making, which will be incorporated into the record. These documents satisfy the requirements of the school code. Now, before I call the first witness, which will be Jason, at this time I would like to go back to Exhibit A, which is a statement that explains why, or states why, this hearing is required for the closing of Pearl S. Buck. The purpose of tonight's hearing is to consider, again, the permanent closure of Pearl S. Buck Elementary School. As advertised, the school district has been investigating the possibility of closure of one of its elementary schools, again, Pearl S. Buck. Section 13-1311A of the Public School Code provides the Board of School Directors of any school district may, on account of the small number of pupils in attendance, or the condition of the then existing school building, or for the purpose of better graduation and classification, or other reasons, close any one or more of the public schools in its district. The school code, however, does not end there. The Public School Code provides that a public hearing must be held prior to the closing of a school. Specifically, 7-780 of the Public School Code provides the following. In the event of a permanent closing of a public school or substantially all of the school's facility, the Board of School Directors shall hold a public hearing on the question of not less than 3 months prior to the decision of the board relating to the closing of the school. Notice of the hearing shall be given in a newspaper of general circulation in the school district at least 15 days prior to the date of such hearing. In this case, on April 9th, 2024, the board voted on a resolution that instructed the district administration to hold a public hearing on the question as to whether or not the district should close Pearl S. Buck Elementary School in light of the new Core Creek Elementary School being constructed on this property located at 2250 Langhorne Yardley Road. A copy of the resolution, again, is marked as an exhibit and is included in the materials. On April 16, 2024, this resolution was advertised, again, in the Bucks County Courier-Times. This information is also included in the materials. As part of this hearing, the district administration will go over the rationale as to why it is being recommended that Pearl Buck should be closed. The Pennsylvania Department of Education, by way of 22 PA Code Section 349.28, further requires notification to the Department of Education prior to any anticipated closure of a building. The district intends to take all steps in order to accomplish this notification requirement as well. This evening's hearing is required by 7-780 of the Public School Code. This hearing is solely designed to determine whether or not the district should close Pearl S. Buck Elementary School. There are no other issues with respect to this hearing or that are germane to this hearing. The public hearing of the school directors will follow closely the booklet that was previously marked as Exhibit E, which again was made a part of the record. There are copies of the booklet again available if anyone doesn't have any. The testimony given will be the content of the components of all the exhibits that I have just marked. Members of the public in attendance are encouraged to participate in the hearing, and each person requesting to speak will be permitted to do so once for a period of 3 minutes. It is the intention of the school board of directors to conduct this hearing through conclusion this evening for the length of time required to afford everyone an opportunity to address the board. It is important to note that there will be no vote or decision this evening by the board. The school code requires a waiting period of at least 3 months between the hearing and actual vote. So the earliest the board would vote on the permanent closure for Pearl Buck will be August of 2024. So with that statement, I would like to call the first witness, Jason Bowman. And before you testify, Jay, I'd like to have you sworn in.
Would you raise your right hand, please? Do you solemnly swear or affirm in the testimony you're about to give to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do. So good evening. We are here tonight to receive your feedback on the proposed closure of Pearl S. Buck Elementary School. The closure is part of the district's roadmap plan to fill a geographical gap in the northern part of the district, along with many other plan elements, some of which have already taken place and others still to come. Many of the school buildings in the Neshaminy School District were constructed between 1950 and 1970 to meet the needs of a rapidly expanding population in the area. Families with 3, 4, or even 5 children were not unusual, and the student enrollment continued to climb until the mid-1990s. The school board and the district administration began the process of making plans to deal with the population shifts in the district in 2007 with a commission study. Currently, the district serves primary students through 6 elementary, kindergarten through 4 facilities, 3 middle school, 5th through 8th grade facilities, and 1 high school, which is a 9 through 12 facility. In May of 2021, the school district commissioned its own demographic study performed by Statistical Forecasting LLC. The study contained enrollment projections based on 2 scenarios using 6 years of enrollment data. The projections from this study utilized for facility planning showed an increase in the elementary school enrollment over the next 5 years by 600 to 700 children in the district. Additionally, the district had a district-wide study completed July 13th of 2021 entitled Neshaminy School District District-Wide Study. There were 3 options and/or scenarios to address enrollment and facilities needs, which included under Scenario 1, a renovation of existing buildings without expansion. Scenario 2, which considered renovation expansion of Pearl S. Buck Elementary School and considered renovations and upgrades at other schools, but no other expansion. And Scenario 3, which focused on construction of a new elementary school to replace Pearl S. Buck Elementary School and considered renovations and upgrades at other schools, but no other expansions. From all this information, the district determined that the most fiscally responsible, most practical, and cost-effective option was to construct a new elementary school to replace Pearl S. Buck Elementary School, which opened in 1968. To replace Pearl S. Buck Elementary, construction of a new Core Creek Elementary School started in the spring of 2023 and will likely be completed in December of 2024, with the students and staff from Pearl S. Buck moving to the new school following their return from winter break in January of 2025. The building will serve one of the areas of the district with a rising population in the upper part of Middletown Township and the Langhorne area. Students in those areas currently attend one of 4 elementary schools in the Levittown area. Various scenarios under consideration to keep students at schools as near to their own neighborhoods as possible should this closure proceed. Students and staff of the new Core Creek Elementary School will enjoy a new energy efficient, comfortable, and safe school environment once it is completed, including state-of-the-art energy-efficient HVAC, electrical and lighting systems, and a modern design with grade-level pods and common areas that encourage collaboration and group activities. The district will benefit by lowered maintenance costs and administrative overhead. Students and staff at the nearest elementary schools in the district that opened in 2016, which is Tawanka Elementary School, have already benefited. Recently, other district schools have received substantial upgrades, including the addition of air conditioning, other HVAC systems, electrical and plumbing upgrades, energy-efficient windows, and safety features. Pearl S. Buck Elementary School would require extensive renovations to bring it to the same level of efficiency, comfort, and safety as the other district schools, including Tawanka School that was opened in 2016. These costs were estimated in 2021 to be approximately $25 million, which would likely increase over the last few years due to inflation, all while children were attending schools during the course of construction for 3 years. Completing the closure of Pearl S. Buck Elementary School and opening of Core Creek Elementary School would be another step towards completing the district roadmap that began 10 years ago and would enable the district to keep meeting those goals and focusing on improving the educational opportunities for our children. Closing a neighborhood school is an emotional and difficult decision. While I understand and appreciate the connection our families feel to their school community, I do hope that they will consider the benefits that will come from seeing this plan through. Change is never easy, but I'm confident that our dedicated staff will make the transition to a new school a positive, beneficial experience for our students and their families.
Okay, does anyone on the board have a question for Jay? Okay, hearing none, we'll move on to our second witness, Mr. Paul Meehan. And again, Paul, before you start, we'll swear you in, okay?
Do you solemnly swear or affirm in the testimony you're about to give, tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Good evening, Mr. Sullivan, members of the board, Mr. Bowman. Tonight's presentation and testimony, I will review the following: questions of the closure, overview of Pearl Buck, cost of renovating Buck, consolidation of district goals, consolidation and district goals, projections, and live enrollment information. Pearl Buck was constructed in 1968 and is currently the only building in the district without any significant upgrades since its opening. Pearl Buck sits on 13 acres of land, two-story building that has an octagon shape for its main hallways. The building design is outdated and does not promote efficient means for collaborative teaching and learning models. Based on space limitations, staff and students do a great job of overcoming those obstacles. The building has 27 full-size classrooms, one of which is used for small instruction learning. Based on the limited space capacity within the building, small group learning centers are seen in makeshift areas such as the stairwells. Slide presentation up front gives you that octagon look there of Pearl Buck. Again, not the best for today's current climate for instruction purposes. It also has some safety concerns moving forward as well. You know, it's condensed. Core Creek Elementary will be open with pods, very visible, and again, instructional purposes. There's a lot of, because there's limited space there, there's a lot of small group instructions, whether it's pull-out or group, done in the stairwells or the hallway areas currently. Probuck currently is our third largest elementary school since the closure of Heckman and Lower South. Live enrollment right now is at 683. I think if I were to pull it tonight, it'd be 682. The current practical capacity of Probuck is 728. And you realize that number, excluding that 27 small group classroom instruction area that I gave you, the other 26, because in fourth grade, as many of the board members know, you can go up to a class size of 28. 28 times the 26 gives you that learning capacity of 728, if that makes sense, hopefully. If not, I'll be free to ask questions at the end, obviously. Mr. Bowman noted in his testimony, the new Core Creek Elementary will enhance the comfort and efficiency and safety of our students and staff, while also enhancing the teaching and learning experiences. In the spring of 2022, Reynolds Site Logic presented to the district a renovation cost project for Probuck. Those numbers are in front of you in your packet as well as up on the screen. These renovations noted additional classrooms, new library, a new library media center, new art and music rooms, ADA upgrades, HVAC upgrades, roofing and window replacements, along with a paving project. Site Logic noted that cost in their project's scope delivered to the Facilities Committee to be approximately $18.5 million at the time. These projections, recently quoted by Site Logic, in today's dollars would be approximately $24 million. So Probuck closure makes sense from an economic perspective based solely on the cost upgrade and the replacement of both the infrastructure and the facade of the existing Probuck building. Probuck enrollment numbers, as I stated tonight, are tipping towards that maximum capacity level noted at 728. New Core Creek Elementary will allow the district to alleviate some overcrowding issues that we currently face at our elementary level, and also eliminate the sister schooling concept in most of our elementary levels that we currently have, elementary schools, sorry, that we're currently happening. Again, noted in Mr. Bowman's testimony, when you look at the Core Creek Elementary in comparison to Pearl Buck, and you look at the catchment areas that currently feed into Pearl Buck, the majority of those students are in the Langhorne Middletown area, or the upper portion part of Langhorne. And they experience several transportation challenges currently to go to Buck to and from. This will be greatly diminished with student movement to the new Core Creek Elementary. Enrollment scenarios for Core Creek will look at students currently attending Pearl Buck, moving the entire student body to Core Creek at the midpoint of sometime next school year. To alleviate, again, some overcrowding issues in some of our other buildings in the Middletown and Lower Southampton area, a redistricting proposal will be given to the board where scenarios will be proposed to the board, the administrative team, and the community after this hearing. There will be an emphasis, based on board's wishes, that those scenarios will continue to maintain the middle school current feeder patterns. So with the redistricting, it will not affect the middle school feeder patterns. Transportation should see a decrease in long travel times for students that currently attend Pearl Buck, and go to the new Core Creek. The Twin Oaks section of students will begin to learn how to ride buses for the first time as an elementary student. The district will begin planning and practice routines, hopefully in the fall, with that scenario. As Twin Oaks has new bus riders to and from school, the Langhorne community near Core Creek, many will become walkers. And practice routines will be implemented again in the fall for that scenario as well. With the closure of Pearl Buck, the district at this point will continue to maintain and own the building property. Avenues will be sought by the school board that are in the best financial interest of the district and the community moving forward. Again, to recapture the goals of the district, consolidate savings as soon as possible, upgrade facilities across the district, maximize improvements and minimize cost, and minimize disruptions of the operations, which we're currently doing with the building of Core Creek. Next slide has construction project timelines since the closure of Samuel Everett. So we had three elementary buildings close in a consolidation effort, with hopefully Pearl Buck Elementary being the fourth as the recommended closure over this time period of 10 years. Also, the district has taken construction of Core Creek Elementary during this time period, high school fields project during this time period, and a wing addition at Poquessing. These projects all have the vision of best serving the community at large and enhancing our facilities for our students. Next slide that you see in front of you is district enrollment, and it's tough to see because I had to get everything on that slide. I have two circles there, and that's just Pearl Buck. If you look at the closure in blue that is circled, that's the year right before Heckman and Lower South closed, and then the circle in red is where we stand today, and that number has jumped probably 100. I can't see it in front of me, but it's 154 students, I believe, difference, and continue to grow from year to year. We have not seen a decrease. Second enrollment in front of you is, again, looking at district-wide K through 4 enrollment, and you can see, and everything's based on 10-1 enrollment numbers that we send up to the state. So they're the live numbers on 10-1 that we send up to the state for their records. In 2016, the first year of opening Tawanka and the move of some of the Heckman students over to Pearl Buck, we had 3,284 students. We're currently tipping the scales at 3,571. Our community has seen housing projects and housing developments, but also have seen over the past 3 years our senior families moving out of the community, and the families moving in are school-age families. And not just at the elementary level, but middle school and high school, we've seen our enrollment figures increase. At this point, I'll turn it back to Mr. Torrente and the board for questions.
Anyone from the board have questions of Mr. Mann? Okay. Hearing none. Paul, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. So at this point, we're going to move to the public comment section of the hearing. Justin Reed had signed up for public comment. Was that for this hearing or for?
It's not for the closing, it's for the general.
It's for the regular board meeting? Okay. Is there anyone else in the audience that wishes to speak with respect to this public hearing? Okay. Hearing none, seeing none, I guess a motion at this time would be appropriate to close the hearing. Again, there'll be a 3-month wait before the vote on this hearing or the closure for Pearl Buck, which will be, again, at the earliest, the August board meeting. So,
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Tarente. I'd like to make a motion to close the Pearl Buck, to close the meeting for the Pearl Buck